Let's tell you about this now. Operation Dudula will be in Brixton tomorrow. The JMPD has approved the organization's march from Garden City Clinic at 9 a.m. Community forums, however, in Brixton have raised concern about the group's presence, saying they are proud of their inclusive and tolerant community, which is home to many international migrants. Let's speak more on this. We're joined by the Brixton's Community Forum's Tafadzwa Choto and Sophia Wells. Thank you very much to both our guests for availing yourselves this afternoon. Sophia, let's start with you. Maybe just introduce us for those who are not familiar with Brixton. Tell us about your community.
So Brixton is at the second highest point in Johannesburg. We have the telecommunications tower, one of the two beacons in Joburg. And under that tower, we have a very diverse community that comes from many backgrounds. We are centered between two universities. We have a lot of students and we have a lot of professors. And then we also have a lot of our community are migrants, and that's sort of how we are, and we are incredibly diverse in many ways. It doesn't mean we get on all the time. But I think there is something very special about Brixton that we do really want to fight for and preserve, and that is that I think our community is curious, and we want to engage with each other, and we want to do things together. And the things that we do together, we have a thing called the Brixton Light Festival, which is a wonderful event where everybody's involved, from the reclaimers who do our amazing waste recycling, all the way through to artists and children. So I think it's a community that has many facets, many attributes, and that we are really strong in our diversity.
Tafadzwa, you believe that Operation Dudula's presence in Brixton tomorrow will threaten what Sophia is talking about in terms of the unity of that community?
Yes. I joined the Brixton community in 2019, and I really felt welcomed. The people there are really united, and in 2019, with the Light Festival that brought in everyone, 2020 and 21 we didn't have it, but this year we had it, and it just makes you feel at home. So this Operation Dudula wants to threaten what we've got in Brixton.
What options are then available to yourselves, Sophia, as a community policing forum? Because we do understand that you have fears about the JMPD and the South African Police Services failing to enforce the law where this group is concerned.
Well, I think we're just looking at previous track record, and I think generally, unfortunately, we don't have faith as South Africans that our police services can deliver on their promises. So I think we were quite shocked that this march was even allowed to go ahead, considering how violent previous marches and launches of Operation Dudula have been across the country. But at the same time, I think we have a duty as community members to go and observe this march and say, we're watching. You have the right as Operation Dudula to share your views under our constitution, but you do not have the right to intimidate anybody or be violent or do any of that. So I think we need to hold the police to task there. We need to say, right, you've allowed this march to happen. Now you have to make sure that we're safe. And I think that's a tall order. I think many people are scared of doing that, but I'm more scared of not standing up right now, because I think this is a crucial point. We either say we tolerate them in our community, or we say we do not tolerate hatred and xenophobia at all. And I prefer that option. So if I'm looking at the future of our kids, and we have some fantastic kids in Brixton, and I'm looking at what we can do as a community for our country, I'm fighting for that. And I'm going to say, let's go and watch and see that those most vulnerable in our community are not harmed by any of these people.
Sure. Tafadzwa, when you hear that, how does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel welcomed. It makes me feel comfortable that I'm part of the community that is prepared to protect, that is human, and that wants to live with people from all over, that embraces the diversity of the community.
What do you tell, because this issue has divided, and that's for you, Ms. Tafadzwa, what do you tell South Africans where the opinion is divided, where you have people, South Africans like Sophia, who will stand right next to you and say, not in our name? And then you also have South Africans who say, well, there's something to be said about Operation Dudula and their workings, because the claim here is that South Africa is not working for South Africans, and they're trying to make that right.
Well, what I tell them is that the issues that South Africans are facing are not caused by foreigners. If you look at the unemployment, those are issues that is to do with the economy, and there is need to make the voice being heard on how to run the economy, on job creation for everyone. So I've been involved ever since this started. I'm a student at University of Johannesburg, and I've been engaging fellow students to try and make them see that the problems are not caused by these minority people who are here in South Africa, but they are broader problems that we have to look into and try to solve, and also to say we have to live together, and also giving them, I'm from Zimbabwe, to say, as Zimbabwe, we embraced a number of people from other countries when their countries were in crisis. Some South Africans, some people from Mozambique. So that's what we have to do. But the bottom line is that the problems that are being faced are not faced by the foreigners.
Sophia, just maybe a closing thought from you in terms of the support that you have received from community members of Brixton. Are they saying they are willing to show up tomorrow and say, not here?
I think it's been wonderful. I think that particularly, when we talk about the police, for instance, we have a very active, volunteer corps that works in our area and in our surrounding areas, and all of those volunteers will be with the police tomorrow, helping to keep us safe. So that really makes me feel proud as a Brixton person. And also many other people who've just said, we're going to come and observe. We're just going to watch. We're not going to, there's no violence. We don't want violence. We advocate for peace. But we're just going to make sure that everybody knows we're watching and that we don't tolerate this. So I think that we will have a wonderful response. Our ward councillors, both from the DA and the ANC, are coming tomorrow. And I think that's also great. I think that many shops will be closed tomorrow, unfortunately. I feel sorry for the people who will lose income, many of them South Africans, ironically, from this loss of trade. But I think that we will get through this. Brixton is amazing. And I think that when we come together again as a community in the not too distant future, we'll show everybody just how fantastic we are, precisely because we have different people and we're curious. I guess my closing thought on this is, Martin Luther King said an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth would leave a blind, toothless nation. So there's a point where we need to just forgive, listen, understand, and be tolerant. And we'll see tomorrow how things go. I hope that not many people come from Operation Dudula. I hope that it's just like any other day, and I hope that everything is peaceful.
Ladies, thank you very much for availing yourselves this afternoon. Brixton Community Forum's Tafadzwa Choto and Sophia Wells.